We are the LEAD program, and for the past 30 years, we've been exposing America's top talent students to careers in business and engineering. Our results prove that 65% of our database of 8,000 are in business, so we're doing something right. However, we recognize and realize that it is important for the next generation of leaders to have a global perspective. So LEAD went global. This film depicts our actions in taking American students, exposing them to colleges and careers in South Africa alongside their peers from South Africa. What's exciting about our movement is that these students are not the students waiting for Superman. Our kids know Superman doesn't exist. It is our responsibility as adults to make sure that these students are prepared to lead globally. That begins at age 15. That begins with the LEAD Global program.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but I think that it's going to be really worth it. And I'm actually really happy that I got selected for this because now they told us that how many other people? 60 other people?
Yeah,
who are going to be there?
A whole other academy that's coming.
Yeah, and the smartest people
of the top.
Oh my gosh.
Other academies.
It's going to be really, really great.
I never thought I would get this opportunity until now.
Only out of our people, only a handful will actually graduate, from high school and go to college. So this is a big opportunity for us.
Yeah, the fact that we're going to Africa as freshmen or going to be sophomores is just crazy.
LEAD Global's recruiting efforts stretched as far west as Arizona, offering top-performing female students a once-in-a-lifetime trip to South Africa. As the program buzz grew, the organizers were astonished at the overwhelming response by their corporate partners. Most of them have sponsored the LEAD program over several years. LEAD asked these multinational companies to send them business and engineering leaders to serve as chaperones for the trip. Women executives who the girls in the program could look up to. And they delivered. The girls began their journey at Spelman College, where each day started with a yoga class. Once all systems were up and running, the girls connected with the volunteer executives for in-depth discussions about their fields of expertise.
We have to always remember that we have to keep ourselves first, that it's very important to take care of ourselves first, because if we don't take care of ourselves, then who's going to be there to take care of all those other people you take care of?
I pledge to make a positive contribution to the elimination of victimization and violence of every form.
I am my sister's keeper.
I am my sister's keeper.
As the students were en route from Atlanta to Johannesburg, their peer leaders were preparing for them at the University of the Witwatersrand. These young women were American and South African college students, some of whom had already participated in previous LEAD programs.
We're finally here in South Africa. What I'm most excited about, and I can't wait to see, is when the girls are connected to their peers and their colleagues from South Africa, from other parts of the country in America. And we just had a great time coming over, so I'm looking forward to getting to work. It's now time to do the hard work. We got to expose these girls to the world of engineering, business, and health sciences.
LEAD Global was launched in grand style at the Origin Center in Johannesburg.
None of you can truly understand how important and life-changing this experience is going to be for you. Just having an experience like this on your resume, number one, as you prepare for college over the next couple of years, is just going to be unbelievable.
One of the things that is critical if you're going to join a board and add value is not being afraid to ask questions, not being afraid to speak up, and not being afraid to make your voice heard even though you're the newest member of the board. All my life I've had the just watch me attitude. You tell me there is a thing I cannot do, my sense is to say just watch me. Just watch me do it.
The inaugural LEAD Global program began with a career day that included an agenda to provide each of the students with a glimpse of what was to come over the next 2 weeks.
There we go.
The students were divided into groups so they could spend time understanding business, engineering, or health sciences in hands-on workshop environments.
What we're busy with now is part of business. It's a marketing strategy. So we have to come up with a company name, a logo, a slogan, and that kind of stuff to advertise our products, which is pantyhose, but this time it's for men.
Later, they would be divided into 3 equal-sized groups where they could focus on the various disciplines over the next 2 weeks.
What they're doing is a real-life marketing project. So this is to give them a sense of what it's like to market a product. And they're doing great. I mean, lots of wonderful ideas about what they might call it. I've heard mannyhose and Manx, and so they're really getting it.
The goal of this day was to provide the girls with a broad view of the 3 major disciplines. These seminars were led by executives from LEAD's corporate sponsors.
The girls are really diving in and they're all interacting with each other, and you wouldn't know they're from 2 different continents. You just wouldn't know it. So it's kind of neat to see.
If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, buy some box of hose and feel alright. You will have women chasing you all night.
Oh man.
At the conclusion of Career Day, the teams that demonstrated the most effective use of the marketing tools were recognized. Day 2. With a career day behind them, it was time to get to class. The early morning began with a hearty breakfast before the girls were split into different study groups.
The one important aspect of massage is that you must cover the area you are treating adequately. Notice the position of my feet, notice my back. It's straight throughout. I use my legs to shift the weight from point A to point B.
For the girls who chose to focus on health sciences, the first day of class included some real hands-on learning. Everyone was interested in participating in the massage class, especially those on the receiving end.
The techniques were hard at first, but now they're easier because the teacher helped me. I think it's good relaxing them because like she almost fell asleep. Very good. Can you do it again, please?
Meanwhile, on the other side of campus, hands-on was also the phrase of the engineering students, but in a very different way.
We're working on a car right now.
This is
we
our
pretty
base.
much have the whole remote almost done.
Yeah, and we're
I just
working
have
on
to do
the
the
base.
black, and we're working on the base. We've been through some struggles.
Getting these bolts on is actually really
yeah,
hard.
some of the stuff that you would definitely think is not hard is really hard.
One of the goals in the engineering experience was to engage the girls in developing an earth-moving, remote-controlled vehicle. It was great to see how the students methodically approached the task. Intense focus was the order of the day as each team prepared for the end-of-the-week challenge. While the classes got underway in different parts of the campus, the US chaperones and South African business leaders visited the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy.
We're so grateful to be here on this campus, and it's interesting how, I have these very high-profile women who are involved in the program, and now they come here and they're humbled. So I've loved watching the humble pie be eaten. So hopefully, this afternoon goes well. Our goal is to share with these girls what we know.
The Oprah Academy had enrolled some 25 South African students into the LEAD Global program. For those students too young to enroll, the LEAD professionals provided a career day discussion about the program.
Makeup and eyeliner and things of that nature, that's a chemical engineer's job to come up with that compound for women of color's makeup. Did you know that?
No.
You see?
I really want to be a physicist, but how do I get really in contact with the people and,
There are many ways that you can work with people by getting a degree in physics as an undergraduate. getting an MD and PhD together.
During the highly interactive sessions, these powerful executives from leading American and South African companies were happy to share their knowledge. They also advised the girls on how to prepare for college, enter into their field of interest, and succeed in a variety of professions.
Isn't it wonderful to see women who represent now who and what you can be in the future?
I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to our house, JP Morgan.
Meanwhile, back on campus, the business students dove right into finance as they visited JP Morgan, Lead Global's underwriting inaugural sponsor. The students were given an introduction into understanding how the stock market works. This information proved critical in their ability to complete their final projects. To research some of their final projects, the engineering students traveled to Gold Reef City. The trip also introduced them to the mining industry and its impact on the South African economy.
You have to mine a lot of rock just to produce a relatively small amount of gold. This area here, it was used as a first aid station. So the mine workers would have kept stretchers, blankets, and fully equipped first aid box here to be used in emergencies. Sebenza kalomteto, secha zonke lo stepisi kaloqala. Always check your working area if it is safe for you to work there. That language, it is called Fanakalo. It originates in the mines, created from English, Afrikaans, and Zulu.
After the mine tour, the students were treated to rides at the theme park. And guess who designs these scary rides? Engineers. Service to others is one of the important elements of becoming a leader. The health science students traveled to a local orphanage to gain an insight into working with those in need. It was important to arrange this interaction for the students, hoping they would gain a better empathy for those they will serve one day. One thing all these students had in common, regardless of their background, was their love of dancing. Each evening, the girls came together to practice the hip-hop routine, which they were going to perform on the final night of the program. These rehearsals were also good for strengthening friendships. Finally, it was time to demonstrate the remote-controlled earth movers in a competition. The engineering students demonstrated their amazing creations with impressive teamwork.
The highlight of my experience was definitely the hands-on projects in the lab, working with the girls, seeing them interact with each other. Every single project ended up really successful, and I think everybody felt a certain sense of gratification at the end.
With the final projects winding down, the students and chaperones began preparations for the closing dinner and departure. Chapter 1 of Lead Global Johannesburg was coming to a close.
In Lead 2009 in South Africa, I'm gonna miss the juices because we have like processed food in America and processed juices, and the juices here are so good. And I'm gonna miss the friends that I made, and I'm gonna miss the RAs because they were like a big sister that I never had because I'm an only child, and just being with all these girls were like having sisters.
Life lessons that I've learned would be just to be social, because when you're social you learn so much more. You allow yourself into people's lives, and that makes people open to come into your life, and you learn to socialize with people, and it just gives you more insight on what the world is about, and not just about you or about the place you come from, but what everybody's like all around the world.
The South African girls are absolutely amazing. I've fallen in love with them, and I'm really going to miss them. And they have really big goals and really big dreams.
Just seeing the girls at first, they were kind of hesitant to interact with each other. But then even today, when we were walking back for the last time from the medical campus, one of the girls just started walking beside me, and she said, will I see you next year? And I'm like, next year? She's like, are you coming back? We want you to come back. We would love to have you here. Before, we were all scared to talk to each other, but now, just when it's getting good, we have to go home. So you can tell that they've grown and that they're actually beginning to understand each other more and to accept each other more and to appreciate the differences and the similarities.
Too soon, the group had to say goodbye to their inaugural Lead Global class in Johannesburg.
It was a phenomenal experience, and it was great to come and be here and help start off the Lead Global program.
So from us, adios.
Salane Gathe.
Just as the first group completed their journey in Johannesburg, the second group of students were in Atlanta, preparing to travel to South Africa, this time to Cape Town. For this trip, boys were also added to the program, and Morehouse College joined with Spelman College in hosting the orientation seminars.
My name's Corey Mike. I live in Arizona. I am a Navajo. I can speak some Navajo. I'm very proud to be a Navajo, and where I come from is a very different area from I expect Africa would be. The people I'll be traveling with, they seem pretty energetic. They have lots of fun, lots of jokes. I really enjoy being around them, but every now and then it gets a little too much laughter, and so I gotta try to get done with what I want to do.
Hi, my name's Dorian Murray Thomas. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I'm really excited that I have this opportunity to go because this is my first time being out the country, and I've always really wanted to go to the continent of Africa. One thing I'm really looking forward to in South Africa is just really meeting the new people and just learning their way of life and seeing how different we live and just comparing and contrasting the similarities and the differences.
My name's Emilio Orozco. And I was born in Mexico City, and then I moved to Houston, Texas when I was in 4th grade, and now I'm here in this LEAD program.
Well, I'm Miguel Tavera. I was also born in Mexico City, just like Emilio. Right now, I'm living in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. I think both of us have pretty biased views of what South Africa is going to be like just because of the American media. Well, as an American, one can have a stereotype of Mexico, for example, saying that all Mexicans are poor, all Mexicans are illegal, all Mexicans, don't have the same rights, don't have the same privileges as Americans do. And this is compared to South Africa or Africa itself as a continent, saying that it's just, all jungle where with poor people. Yeah. So I mean, both of us can, I think, relate to that just because we come from this different culture.
Take those challenges and kind of look for the lessons in them and look for the funny things in them, because if you can laugh at the situation and you can laugh at yourself, then you're really learning something about you and about what you've done.
I think what these young men and women are taking with them to South Africa is a sense of their purpose. I think that over the past 2.5 days they've learned a lot about themselves, about how they fit into this global world, how they as leaders are expected to understand and take information and become even bigger than they thought they could be. And I think as they think about the dreams that they have for themselves, I'm hoping that they've expanded that even more and pushed out the boundaries of what people told them they could and could not do.
On the 4th of July, the second group of Americans and their fellow South Africans were welcomed in style by the University of Cape Town.
You are my big yellow blessing, all of you. big, shiny yellow blessing. And Ayana, when we chose the shirts, this is what I pictured. I pictured this big yellow blessing. In Johannesburg, the big yellow blessing, it's an all-girls program there. They danced, 90 girls on stage. And they danced and danced. And I said, you know, I gotta, actually, what is this? Is this a tear coming down my, how about that? It was an absolutely moving experience.
As with the launch of each LEAD Global program, this one also started with a career day. Again, the goal was to give just a taste of the work to come in engineering, business, and health sciences. While demonstrating the principles of engineering design, the students went right to work in understanding engineering concepts.
The object of the experiment is to help them create something new and unique that would prevent the egg from breaking when it's dropped from a high distance. And the key thing here is the students will begin to learn how to conceptualize a problem, develop a rudimentary solution, and then work as a team to come up with the best solution that's going to work.
They didn't specify, so
boil the egg.
we can just...
We can't boil the egg because we've got nothing to boil the egg here. These are the only things
We can go to vacation.
No, you're not allowed to go out, Kevin.
Okay, sure.
We have to stay here. Using 1, 2, 3, 4 things we have to make.
Only.
Yeah.
When the egg flows like this, as I'm doing it, it's going to fall softly because the straws have air. So that's why we did it. And I think it's going to work out.
Some outcomes were less victorious than others, but all students succeeded in demonstrating teamwork and team spirit.